Welcome back, everyone, to another fascinating journey into the world of American coins, where even the smallest piece of copper can carry with it a story of history, rarity, and immense value. Today, we are diving deep into the history, design, production, and hidden treasures of one very special coin, the 1951 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny. At first glance, it may look like nothing more than an ordinary penny. After all, most of us are so used to seeing copper-colored cents that we don't stop to think about them. But the truth is, coins like the 1951 D wheat penny hold layers of history within their design and in their journey from the mint to collectors' hands. And for those who know how to look carefully, they can represent not just a piece of pocket change, but a small fortune. Let's begin by stepping back into the year 1951. America was in a unique place in history. The Second World War had ended just 6 years earlier, and the country was going through a wave of transformation. The Cold War was starting to heat up, consumerism was booming, and coins like the Lincoln cent were being used every day in shops, diners, theaters, and gas stations. The Lincoln cent had already been around for more than 4 decades by then. It was first introduced in 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner, as a way to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was also the first time a U.S. coin featured the portrait of an actual historical figure, breaking from the classical Liberty-style figures that had been used before. Lincoln's face became iconic on the cent, and it still remains there today, more than a century later. Now the 1951 D wheat penny was struck at the Denver Mint, which is where the D mint mark comes from. Denver's mint had been producing coins since the early 1900s, and by 1951, it was one of the major facilities responsible for churning out millions upon millions of coins to keep up with the expanding economy. In fact, over 625 million wheat pennies were struck at the Denver Mint in 1951 alone. That number might make you think these coins are common, but rarity and value in numismatics depend on more than just how many were made. To really understand the 1951 D wheat penny, we have to look at its design. On the obverse side, you see the familiar bust of President Abraham Lincoln facing right. Above his head is the motto, "In God We Trust," while to his left you'll see the word Liberty. And on the right, the date, 1951, followed by the small D mint mark just below it. The detail in Lincoln's hair, his bow tie, and even the lines of his coat can vary depending on how well the coin was struck, which is something collectors pay close attention to. Flip the coin over and you'll find the classic wheat reverse design. 2 stalks of wheat curve around the sides, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. Above that is the motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This reverse design had been used since 1909 and continued until 1958, when the Lincoln Memorial design replaced it. For many collectors, the wheat reverse carries a nostalgic charm. It is simple, elegant, and distinctly American. Now you might be wondering, if hundreds of millions of these coins were produced in 1951, what makes some of them so valuable today? The answer lies in a combination of factors: condition, rarity of surviving examples, mint errors, and collector demand. Condition is one of the most critical factors. A 1951 D penny that has been heavily circulated, showing lots of wear, scratches, or discoloration, may only be worth a few cents to $1. These are the coins that passed through thousands of hands, were dropped into countless cash registers, and lived their lives in circulation. But when a coin is found in pristine condition, what collectors call mint state, it can be worth much more. Coins graded at higher levels, such as MS-65 or MS-67, are especially prized because they show sharp detail, bright luster, and minimal marks. Another factor is mint errors. During the mass production of coins, mistakes sometimes happen, and these mistakes can create rare varieties that collectors go crazy for. For example, some 1951 D pennies may have repunched mint marks, where the D was struck more than once slightly off-center. Others might have die cracks, off-center strikes, or doubled dies. Each of these errors adds to the uniqueness of the coin, making it much more desirable in the eyes of collectors. The 1951 D wheat penny also represents an important era in coin collecting. By the 1950s, coin collecting was becoming more popular in America. Families would search through their pocket change, hoping to find wheat pennies from earlier years or rare mint marks. The Wheat Cent series, with its long run from 1909 to 1958, gave collectors plenty of opportunities to hunt for key dates and valuable coins. Even today, many people who collect coins start with Lincoln wheat cents because they are relatively accessible, yet full of surprises. Let's also talk about the historical backdrop of the 1951 D penny. When these coins were first minted, the cost of living in America was drastically different. Gasoline was around 20 cents per gallon, a loaf of bread was about 16 cents, and movie tickets were just 50 cents. A penny in 1951 had more purchasing power than it does today. And yet, here we are, decades later, with collectors paying thousands of dollars for the right example of a coin that originally had such little face value. But what truly fascinates people about coins like the 1951 D Wheat Penny is the mystery of survival. Out of the 625 million coins minted, most were spent, worn down, and eventually taken out of circulation. Some were melted over the years, and others simply disappeared. The relatively small number of high-grade examples that remain today are what drive up the value. Imagine holding a coin that has somehow survived more than 70 years without being scratched, dented, or corroded. It's like holding a time capsule. Collectors also enjoy the thrill of searching. Many stories have surfaced of people finding rare wheat pennies in old jars, boxes, or even tucked away in dresser drawers. For some, discovering a rare 1951 D penny in excellent condition can feel like winning the lottery. That sense of excitement is what keeps the hobby alive and thriving. Of course, not all 1951 D pennies are worth a fortune. The vast majority remain common and affordable, especially in circulated grades. But the top-end examples, those rare gems that are almost flawless, are the ones that fetch staggering prices at auctions and coin shows. And it's not just about the money, it's also about the story behind the coin, the era it came from, and the connection it provides to America's past. Think about it, every coin has traveled a journey. The penny in your hand may have once been used to buy candy at a corner store in the 1950s, slipped into a jukebox to play a song, or handed to a gas station attendant. Each coin is a silent witness to everyday life, and when you find one in remarkable condition, it's almost as if time has stood still for that small piece of history. Now, for those who are interested in collecting wheat pennies, the 1951 D is a fantastic coin to look for. It's part of the later years of the wheat series, which makes it more accessible, yet still filled with exciting varieties and potential for value. Beginners and seasoned collectors alike enjoy adding it to their collections, and the hunt for higher-grade examples never gets old. The beauty of coin collecting is that it's not just about value. It's about history, design, and the stories these coins tell. And the 1951 D Wheat Penny tells a story of post-war America, of minting practices at the Denver Mint, of the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln, and of the enduring fascination people have with even the smallest denomination of currency. So the next time you come across a wheat penny, don't dismiss it as just another coin. Take a closer look. Check the date, the mint mark, and the condition. You never know, you might be holding onto a hidden treasure that has survived decades, waiting for someone with a sharp eye to recognize its worth. And speaking of worth, let's finally answer the big question. How much is the 1951 D mint mark Lincoln wheat penny actually worth in its most valuable form? Well, in the world of numismatics, top-graded specimens of this coin have reached auction prices of an astonishing $45,382.